Hello everyone and welcome back to another Wano deck deep dive, this time featuring the 1st Canadian, a division that, since the Southpack early access thingy, really has been around in the meta quite a bit, and I ranked it in S tier because its air spam was so strong. With the first patch that we got, that got nerfed a bit. It's still pretty damn strong, and the deck in general is still pretty strong as well. So let's have a look on the deck in total. It got even a couple of buffs in that last patch, and let's see what we can do here. I myself struggled a bit with it actually in the beginning, so it took me a while to figure it out. That's why the deck deep dive only comes now, when I had played it a bit more and can go a bit deeper in how to use it. So CV wise, we have Iltis here, 3 more Reservist Leader here, and then a Leo C1 CP, so 8 CVs. That's good enough to get you through every game. 2 supply cards here. This is not the most supply hungry deck, so that should get you through most games as well. They are good 750 point CVs. Supply units doing a really solid job. Infantry tab, a really good one as well. First, the Reservist Leader has a good AT weapon here with the Law. 45 points, 8 hit points for this. This is really nice. Comes in MLAV, so that is a bit quicker. And we have another unit that we want a bit quicker with the mech rifles here. Double MG and a Law that we want to use early on defensively on spots. Then we have 2 units in M113s where when we want a box with a 50 cal, we can bring around those. Mech CP escort with the Law with 1 MG, 11 hit points, good beefy squad. This one here also with 2 vets, so that the opener is a bit more effective. It is a bit more accurate on all weapons and deals a bit more damage. These guys here all on 1 vet, as per usual for most infantry. Mech rifles here and M113s as well, so after the opener, the follow-up comes a bit slower, but with extra firepower, the 50 cals are nice. Or in a Grizzly, which gives you 50 cal firepower as well, and a smoke, but costs you 30 points. And the Eric's mod rifles, absolutely fantastic. Eric's is an absolute beast in dealing with any kind of light armor around it. So in towns with medium ranges, this is just absolutely fantastic. Mod rifles, Carl Gustav, solid unit as well. The firepower of the mod rifles themselves, not so great, so you usually want to combine them with other infantry or get the Grizzly around to fire, but they can hold off a side really nicely, and they are pretty cost efficient at that. Pioneers coming around. Usually want to sometimes put them into opening towns as well. That's why I bring them in the MLVV as well. With double MGs here, really good pioneers, as they have double light support weapon here, so that they can get into CQC range while still firing with all their weapons, and then at that CQC range still fire the weapon as well with the central charges and shock the enemy. Ito now, add 5 availability is nice. Tow 2 is always great as well. One-shot capability against a lot of lighter vehicles, that is always nice. So the double ATGM here, because you don't have IFVs coming around. So you get a decent amount of ATGMs in the tank and in the AA tab with this deck as well. Artillery, we go with 1 vet C1 155mm. This is so that you can quickly react to enemy AA positions and quickly react to enemy ATGM positions. The gun itself also really cost efficient. You can buy both guns in 1 minute and keep the trucks around. The good damage of the 155mm, low range, but you usually want to push them quite far forward, and then use the better aim time, better reload time, and better rate of fire of this gun to get some good damage out. Once the enemy has guns to counter battery, you obviously want to keep them moving, always keep the truck around, but in general, these two do a really good job, and I don't feel like you need more guns, so that's why I upfitted them, because the efficiency that you get, especially out of the quicker aim and reload time, saving 20 seconds between each salvo, is pretty big, and that's why we go with that, or 15 seconds between each salvo. Like, that's pretty big, and the rate of fire, meaning that the second shot lands faster so that you have a bigger chance of killing, is really important for artillery as well. Tank tab, Leopard C1s obviously are key here. With the buff to the Cougar, both in stealth and in cost, the Cougar is in here as well. Decent fire support unit early on against enemies with a lot of 50 cal jeeps or so. Like, you want to use these to clean up the sideline against light vehicles. The gun has a decent range. The damage is not great, but against light vehicles, that's still fine. And it can be decent as fire support with the MG and the gun, just to help out your infantry a bit as well. Leopard is the main thing to kill enemy IVs, kill enemy tanks. It has a decent range. It doesn't have the best pen, doesn't have the best accuracy, but good range. And with the veterancy, it actually gets there. You have good veterancy curve on all levels here. I take one with 2 vet and the other on 1 vet, so that I get 16 of them around. That should get you through every game. And the 2 vet at the beginning should get you a good cost efficient start and get you some good efficiency there in the first couple of fights, which are really important in Wano, as always. And then 2 different ATGM units, the Tua and the I-Tow Jeep. Tua with the Tow 2, pretty efficient ATGM vehicle, and smoke coming around there as well. And the I-Tow can be helpful in the openers, getting fast to spots where you want an ATGM at, and help out there. Good stealth on these as well. So, solid little ATGM vehicle as well. And then we come to the Recon tab, where we have a very good optics M113. The Cougar got cheaper, but still only good optics. M113 has smoke, has a 50 cal, and has the very good optics, which are more helpful with your tank pushes. You can go for sniper openers if you want to have some special forces and extra speed, but for infantry I go with the Mech Recce, which are really efficient combat recon. 8 hit points, Carl Gustav, double MG. These guys shred through enemy recon infantry with 4 hit points quite quickly. They can deal with any recon vehicle with the Carl Gustav as well. And the Recce GSR, a really cost-efficient GSR unit. So they are fantastic as well. Great availability with 6 as well. It's kind of insane for GSR. So yeah, you get a lot of optics out of this. And then we go with the drone. It has been nerfed. It's not as OP anymore. It's still good. So the fast drones coming out on the battlefield. The slight agility buff did help with microing them. The speed reduction and the easier time to hit them made them a good bit weaker, though. They're not completely busted anymore, but they are still pretty strong. AA tab, we have the ADATs. They are key against heavier divisions to kill off enemy IFVs, because your ATGM hits them faster than theirs hit you. And on bigger ranges, your Leos just maybe can't bridge the gap, and also pretty key against any heavy tanks, hitting them hard and fast. Plus, they obviously are really solid AA as well. The missile does 6 damage, so they 2-hit all the planes out there, outside of SU-25 and A-10s from directly frontal hits. They would need 3, but outside of that, yeah, ADATs do a good job. And then blowpipes, good anti-helicopter. They have long range against helicopters, so that's what they're here for. Hitting the 2,650 meter range against those, and with 2 vet plus the blowpipe, truck, you get 12 blowpipes here. Way better than Javelin, because Javelin has lower range and costs you nearly as much as the blowpipe with the blowpipe truck. So that's really not worth it. The LML and the Skyguard are okay, but the blowpipe here really, for such cheap prices, is the way to go. 35 points is nearly free, and that gets you anti-helicopter. And with the veterancy, it also starts to get decent accuracy. The CH-135 AT is an absolute beast. This is an absolute key unit for a stack for openers, as it can deal with any recon vehicles, it can deal with transports really quickly, forcing enemy unloads where they might not want to unload them. It can eat a man hit of most AA and all man pads with its 8 hit points and still get away. So if you micro them, they shouldn't die too easily. Even fighter runs might not kill them, though often they do. And these guys can also kill off IFVs and so on really quickly with rockets. Against tanks, they're not as efficient. And obviously they get outranged by all AA, so you have to be careful of how you use them. You can't just run down the AA easily. But if you find a individual IFV or so somewhere around, you can kill them. And if you kill 2 IFVs with this, they have paid off. If you force early unloads, if you kill maybe even stuff in transport, you pay off really quickly with them. So these things are kind of nuts, and you really have to be careful, as the rate of fire and damage of these rockets is really good. And then we have the air tab, where you still want to get all the F-18s. They are less cost efficient now, the cluster and the HE ones especially. They got a decent price buff. 15 points for the cluster, 10 points for the HE. But they're still good. And it might not be an insane opener anymore, though even there you can still use them. But it's a big investment, like an even bigger investment now. It was a pretty sizable investment before. So you have less on the ground, recon units or so less, which does matter quite a bit for these. So it's not as strong anymore, but it's still really strong. And that's the key. Like, you can win air dominance against most decks with these fighters plus the ADATs, and you can get a lot of good bombing runs out of these 40% ECM bombers. If you just deal with half of the enemy AA, then you can send, like, if you kill one enemy IHawk and they have one left, you still can usually go for a run and get out alive, unless you are really unfortunate in the roll. So with the artillery, or maybe with your bombers or your helicopters targeting the enemy AA directly, you can still win air dominance with this deck quite easily and go around there. So when it comes to strengths and weaknesses, the air tab, absolute strength. The recon helps out as well. It's not as fast and doesn't do the spotting immediately at the beginning of the game anymore, but it's still there. The infantry tab is really flexible. You have big squads, you have fast squads with 50 cults, you have a good mix of ATGMs. So I would say the infantry tab is a good strength as well. And then the ADATs and the AA situation is a really good thing as well. So that's where I would say the strengths are. Recon tab, fantastic as well with the GSR, but it's not super above the curve. It's above the curve, but not heavily. Weaknesses, no IVs. Like, the infantry itself is great, and it has a decent amount of 50 cults and so on, but no IFVs directly, which always is a weakness there. No direct forward deploy. That's a weakness as well. And then I would also say no heavy tanks. Like, only light Leos. Heaviest armor you get is 9. That's absolutely a weakness as well. Pushing with this deck takes a bit more methodical approach with either air, good artillery play, or just a bit of mass at outflanking than with some other decks where you can just kind of go the direct way. The direct way usually is the wrong way with the Canadians. So yeah, let me know down below what you think about this deck, and see you all in the next time. Bye bye, and have a great day.